this before, but I want to mention it again because it's kind of my secret weapon. I have an outline. I'm over it and I'm ready for it to be done. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Something that you guys may have noticed is how scattered and spread out my writing vlogs are, and that's because I don't write very often. I'm not super disciplined with it. It's always something that I've struggled with. I need to get better about it. I've told myself this summer, because I'm on summer break and I have time away from work, that I'm going to actually get serious about it and come up with some sort of plan, some sort of schedule, and I may have to get really strict with myself where I'm literally writing down like the time I get up in the morning. I kind of like reading first thing in the morning because it just gets words in my brain. Like it kind of turns my brain on. You want to say hi to everybody? Say good morning? But I need to start writing like pretty soon after, I think would be a good schedule. I know that I need to get more disciplined about it, and so I think the time has finally come. I'm on chapter like 35, 36, something like that, of this manuscript of my current work in progress. So I'm in the home stretch, and I've been in the home stretch for a while. It's just the fact that I don't feel like I have the perfect ending yet, like the right ending. I'm letting that hold me back. Instead of just doing what I know I need to do, which is just to write something so that other ideas can push forward. Your rough draft is like, the way I think of it is like a house that's being built. So it's like the framework, you can still see the studs, you can literally see through it. And that's all a first draft has to be. It's like a skeleton. And then all the drafts that come after obviously are like the fine tuning, and then adding all of the beautiful descriptions, and if we need to tweak anything. I am finishing the damn thing like this week because I'm just I'm over it and I'm ready for it to be done. So something I was going to share with you guys, it literally has like the ending of the book written out, so I'm not gonna like give you a close-up, but I wrote a couple of different versions. So I've got like version 1 and then like an alternative ending. So I've got a couple of different things that I could write. We'll just kind of see how it feels as I'm in the moment and as I'm writing it. It's one of those things that happens and you're like, okay, I think that happened for a reason. So boyfriend and I went out to the Salt Plains just to kind of like kick off summer. It's a 2.5 hour drive. So we were stuck in the car for, 5 hours total. And initially we were gonna do like, I was gonna drive one way, he was gonna drive the other. And then I realized because I had like packed a different bag, one of the things I forgot was my driver's license. So I was like, okay, babe, I guess you get to drive both ways. So luckily I brought this, which is just one of my notebooks, because I had all of that time to just sit and think and stare out the window at the windmills and plan. I have an outline, so I like literally have no excuse now because I have like the scenes written out in front of me.
Silver dollars and champagne for the trouble. It's a t-shirt in the backseat of your car. Head down just like your father taught you. Stick around when the walls start to fall. Good God, does anybody notice you sat at the table and you listened to her scream? I know we've had a few too many. I'm not sure what to believe. Beauty queens and rock and rollers, crystal glasses, Coca-Cola.
but I want to mention it again because it's kind of my secret weapon. It's the Imaginary World of. So these are by Carrie Smith, who created the Wreck This journals. Basically, it's full of all of these different questions that you can ask yourself about this world that you're creating. I find it super helpful because it asks you questions that you may not have thought of on your own. I've printed out like pictures and put them in there. Like here, for example, so here's like a map of the main part of town where a lot of the scenes take place. And so because I am not familiar with this town, I don't live in this town, it helps me to know, like, okay, here's like a main street, here's a street, here's a street, here's like the public square. There's a skating rink in this, not in the actual town, but in my story there is. And so I had to pick a spot for it. Like, okay, well, where in town is the skating rink? If you are creating a world that doesn't currently exist, and you need to familiarize yourself with it, then this is going to be something that is incredibly important. Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. I just woke up. I made myself some coffee, and I wanted to give you guys a little summary of this writing vlog because it turned out to be totally different than what I originally planned it to be. Anyway, been writing on my third manuscript for a while. I haven't looked at the date. I'm sure it's been over a year easily. I had a short story idea that kind of, I'm not gonna say it just tumbled out of me or was like a fever dream like you hear people say. It's just a first draft. It's nothing like crazy, crazy special. I'll show it to you guys. I'm gonna cover up the title, but this is it. I printed it out. It ended up being not quite 5,000 words, but still pretty good. I actually didn't have any staples, so it's actually about Native Americans. It's like a first contact kind of story. John Smith and Pocahontas type situation, those kind of vibes. I was really inspired by Terrence Malick's film, The New World, from 2005. If you guys have ever seen that film, it's one of my favorites of all time. It's so, so beautiful. There's something about it that's so quiet and beautiful, but heartbreaking, and it's so good. I love it. Boyfriend and I watched it recently, and so it was kind of still percolating in my head, I think, when I was thinking about this. But anyway, so I ended up like using some twine to put it together, which I thought was kind of fitting. I have not written very much at all. I think those first couple of days I was writing on my actual manuscript, and then that kind of went off the rails, and this short story kind of took over, and just I wanted to kind of just let it flow and see what would happen. I ended up writing it, quite a bit of it, in my journal, which is not something I normally do, and was actually really refreshing. I love the way a page looks when it's been all like marked up and you've got arrows, and it really it looks like you really did a lot. Like it looks like you really actually put the effort in. I feel like with like a Google Doc or Microsoft Word, you can't see all of that. I mean, I know you can like track your changes and stuff, but I don't know. It was just interesting, kind of like, it's kind of like being able to see inside your own mind, kind of. So I thought that was it was really refreshing and different. It's been a long time since I've handwritten my story. I guess that could be like a little tip, you guys. That might be something to think about. If you're struggling, grab a pen, an actual pen and a journal. If that helps, I mean, go for it. It was quite nice. I'm kind of actually impressed with myself, and I feel like it's a really solid draft. I don't feel like it's just crap. I guess the moral of the story is, even if you end up writing on something that you did not expect to be writing about, that is okay. It's still words, it's still writing. Give yourself a little grace, and don't worry that it's not the thing that you should have been writing. Now, I guess that's different if you're like trying to write an essay for school or something like that. But if you're doing creative writing, like it was still such a fun creative process. So all of that to say, I hope you guys found a little bit of inspiration, hopefully some motivation to stop watching YouTube and go write. I'm gonna keep these writing vlogs coming because I am so close to finishing this. I thought this was going to be the vlog where I finished the manuscript. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but that's okay. I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. I still got a lot of writing done. So yes, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.